How's it going, guys? This is the GD Max Nerd back from the video. Today we are back for our week 4 match in the MCL versus Bobby. Make sure to check him out. His description or his links are in the description below. We're gonna quickly go over the team that we have. Screenshots will be on the screen like last week. Hyper Voice, Toxic, Wish, and Healbell, Sylveon with the leftover Pixel 8, and basically max special defense. Speed creeping. I don't know. I don't have Doc open. I just have his team right here. And basically max special defense to deal with things such as the Gardevoir or the it was also there basically just to deal with the Mandibuzz. He had 3 months on the team I was super scared of. Tyranitar because I was scared of Sandrush setup drill. Oh shit, well the other mon. Mandibuzz because Mandibuzz is just fat, like heck of fat. And then the third mon being Kababulu. Like I have Mega Venusaur, pretty good counter, but like it still hurts. So I wasn't looking forward to it. But luckily, didn't bring either of those three. So, like I said, that's the Sylveon we brought. Next, we got Crocodile with the leftovers: Intimidate, Earthquake, Stone Edge, Knockoff, and Toxic. Earthquake, obviously for Stab, Knockoff for Stab. Stone Edge hit the Mandibuzz, and Toxic maybe the Toxic, the Mandibuzz, or the Cofagrigus, any of his big walls. And then max HP, max defense, basically, to stop a setup drill, kind of to counter it. Next, we have Braviary with the Choice Scarf, Sheer Force, Brave Bird, U-Turn, Superpower, and Tailwind. Brave Bird for Stab, U-Turn for Initiative, Superpower to hit like Tyranitar, Drill, Miltank, just a couple other things. And Tailwind, if we happen to be faster with Braviary, but we know we can't sweep, but we can sweep another mon with the Tailwind up. Tailwind might help us win. So I have Tailwind, and because I didn't need any other moves. Max attack, max speed, Jolly. That speed creeps that speed ties with the Gardevoir. So if he brought Scarf, we would be tied with it, which he did end up bringing. Next, we have Venusaur with the Overgrow, Giga Drain, Sludge, Knockoff Synthesis, Giga Drain for Stab and just to recover health gradually. Sludge for Stab, Poison Stab to deal thing, because he had a bunch of grass types. He happened to bring Shaman here. And for maybe like Gardevoir, the reason I brought Sludge to Sludge Bomb was because he had Chestnut, which he didn't end up bringing, but he had Chestnut, although HP Flying might have been better. No, it wouldn't have been better. Sludge does more than HP Flying. So I brought Sludge, then Knockoff to maybe knock off like the Gengar or just any item in general. Synthesis, obviously, to recover health. Even though he had Tyranitar, I still brought Synthesis because, even if it's just 25%, it's still health. And then basically max defense to deal with that Bulu. Next we have Keldeo with the leftover, Justified, Hydro Pump, Entry Fire, Sub, Calm Mind. Sub, I can switch it, particularly Swamp, and then Calm Mind up. Hydro Pump, Entry Fire, basically the only coverage moves I needed. That spread, I sped crapped, I believe, Max Shaman. And then next we have Delphox, also holding Scarf because he had a lot of grass types. And a lot of things on his team didn't really appreciate an HP Fire. Like, if you look at his team, like, Thick Fat Miltank, a Special Defensive, Cofagrigus, that's all really that wants to take a Fire Blast. Shadow Ball, Fire Blast, like I said, for Stab. Shadow Ball to maybe, like, Cofagrigus, or the Gardevoir, and then HP Fighting for, like, Drill, although we have a Fire type, a Thick Fat Miltank, Tyranitar, just any of those in Switch Rude, maybe like Cripple Wall, such as this Cofagrigus. And then that spread, Speed Creeps, a Max Speed Shaman. We're gonna hop right into this battle. I led off with Crocodile because I knew I could get off the Intimidate and possibly take hits pretty well. I have a bunch of options to swap into if I don't like the matchup. I thought he might lead a Jiro set of Brox, or maybe this thing, the Cofagrigus, in order to set up spikes. He ends up leading with the Cofagrigus, like I said. He can get the leftovers off. I decided to go straight up for the knockoff because I could do a solid amount, get rid of its items, see what's popping, try to see what kind of spread it is. Thought we could get the Mummiok, get rid of my Intimidate, which doesn't matter. I can see, though, that with that damage, I can 2-kill with the leftovers, or with the knockoffs. And he's going to fix up later spikes. I wasn't fearing the Willow because I do have Healbell, like I said, on my Sylveon. So I could always just Healbell it off if need be. So I decided to go for another knockoff here. And I just managed to kill Cofagrigus turn 2, which is really good for us, getting rid of his one wall. Or one of his couple walls. Here I decided to go into Gardevoir. And I really wanted to go into Venusaur to absorb the spikes. But I knew I couldn't risk him going for like a Psychic. Like if he's not Scarfed. and just hurting me really, really badly. Um, so I went to my special defensive wall, being Sylveon, obviously. I do get toxic, which really sucks. He just ends up going for the Moonblast, however, which I believe only does like 20-ish, 25-ish% more or less. So we're just able to kind of eat the hit up. We're gonna get leftovers, then hit by toxic. I believe here I decided to set up a wish because I knew if this thing wanted to stay in, I could possibly just get the wish up perfectly fine. Try to kind of pivot into something else and get the wish up on it. Based on the damage that it was doing, I could see that it wasn't really a supportive set and rather was more offensive, which is good intel to know, because there's the possibility it could be specs or scarf or extra belt rather than like bulky leftovers or something like that. I decided to swap out here because I wanted to maybe conserve it to maybe take on the Gardevoir later on in the match. And as he decided to swap into Drill, I swap into Mega Venusaur to absorb the spikes and to see what he wanted to do maybe. It ended up being a waste of a wish, which really sucks. I decided to pivot out into my Crocodile to because now I'm not toxic, because I absorbed the spikes, and because I can get the Intimidate off to maybe take it a little bit better, although he is going to go for the Earthquake here, and you're just going to see it does a hell of a lot of damage. Like, you can see why I was scared of Sand Rush fucking Drill. Look, I'm going to see that it's Life Orb, which is very good intel to know. I'm going to get a little bit of leftovers in here. He was fearing me being a Scarf, which makes sense since, I led with it. I went for 2 knockoffs and then swapped. It just makes sense overall. So, he decided to swap here as I just went straight for the EQ. And he is going to see here that, I'm going to see here that it doesn't do too much, but I can't really make out its set too well. Based on this EQ damage, because Shaman's just, like, it's still going to eat up an EQ either way. It's very hard to gauge the damage. So I decided to swap out here, obviously, because I didn't like the type advantage. I just wanted to Sylveon, especially because it's my special defensive wall. He decided to go for the Air Slash, I guess, predicting the Mega Venusaur. And you're just going to see that does, like, extremely little damage to my Sylveon. I love Sylveon so much right now, honestly. Like, it's been putting in the work, defensive work, throughout these past couple weeks. I decided here to go for the Wish, just to maybe heal up on the Shaman if you want to stay in. He ends up going into Drill. And I knew I couldn't swap into anything, like, clean. Like, I needed to just, kind of get a clean switch into, like, one of my offensive mons, such as, Delphox, Keldeo, or the Braviary. So, I just decided to let my Sylveon go down at this point. And plus, I thought, there is a good chance that he could go for the SD, predict my swap. Which he ends up doing. And I just end up going for the Hyper Voice. It's my strongest move. Just his best bet overall. And as you see, that does an okay amount. It does about 20% more or less. And I just decided to let myself go down. Like I said, I'm just going for Hyper Voice and just trying to maybe window it down a little bit, get a little bit of chip damage to maybe he kills himself in Life Orb after a while. He just goes for the Iron Head though this next turn, not over predicting, and he just gets a crit and kills me. Crit, I don't believe mattered at that point, especially because that's a special defensive Sylveon. He can take more Life Orb damage, bringing him down to almost half. Now here I decided to go to Keldeo because I know I outsped it. He's no way he's Scarfed, and I could just hit him with the big Hydro Pump, except I decided to go for a sub predicting this swap, and that is what ended up happening. I could have gone just straight up HP Fire, although I think sub was my best play, because even if he stayed in, rather than taking like almost like a hell of a lot of damage from a plus 2 EQ, I'd only be taking 25, and then I'd know that I could just go for the Hydro Pump the following turn. After getting this up, I just decided to go for the HP Fire. No need to set up Calm Mind, and the HP Fire just, like, I thought it might have been an offensive Shaman, but based on the HP Fire damage, like, there's no way it was offensive or defensive, like fully special defensive or anything like that. Like, it was really hard to gauge the damage done throughout this match on the Shaman. He can go for the Air Slash. It's gonna break my sub, and I decided to swap into Delphox here because if you decide to go for a Sea Flare, I resist Air Slash. It's not stab, and I can eat it up pretty well. If he goes for the Earth Power, I believe I live. But if he went for the Earth Power, like, he's a fucking god. But as you see here, he just goes for the Air Slash. And I just decide, there's not many things on his team that really wants to take a HP or a Fire Blast. Like I said at the beginning of the match for Kofagrigus, which is down. And this thing, if it's thick fat, it's not thick fat. There's no way it's thick fat. I just do a lot as he tried to swap it in to do, and I'm just able to kill it with the preceding turn with the HP Fire, taking out this mill thing. And now he has like no switch-ins for a Fire Blast. He decided to go into Gengar here, and I did not want to risk him being Scarf, so I swap out into Purple Haze, the Mega Venusaur. I wasn't really sure what to swap into that at this point because I didn't have too many switch-ins. He's just gonna go for the Shadow Ball. It does about half, and I'm like, well, if I Mega Evolve, I can eat up a Shadow Ball, and I can just go for the Synthesis and heal up, or I can go for the knockoff. I don't remember what I did, but I'm Mega here, and I just one moment, it'll say, Purple Haze Mega Evolve, Sludge Bomb. I forgot Sludge Bomb is more powerful than Shadow Ball, and just get taken out there, which I'm okay with. Based on that, I see that he's Life Orb, and so I'm able just to go into Braviary here and just like outspeed it. And I just go for the Brave Bird. I just click Brave Bird because he couldn't go into Drill because I 2 KO it and I outsped. Gengar dies here. The Gardevoir died and the Shaman died, so he couldn't really do much. So yeah, just give me a sec. I had to cough real quick, but I didn't want to cough into the mic. He decided to go to a Drill here, and I believe I just swap. I swap out here into Crocodile to maybe to sack it off, basically. Like, Drill was very hard to deal with throughout this match. He decided to go for the Iron Head there, and he just ends up killing me even at -1. Like, that's how powerful Drill is, honestly. Like, I love Drill. I had it last season in MCL, and even without like Sandstorm, it still put in a good amount of work. And he's gonna take Life Orb damage, like you saw. I went into Musketeer here, and I just went for the HP Fire. I didn't want to miss the Hydro Pump miss, and I knew the HP Fire could kill from this point, so I just decided to do that and just kind of let myself take out the Drill. So now he just has Shaman, and which I have no idea about his stat at this point, and his Gardevoir versus my Keldeo, my Delphox, my Braviary, and yeah, there's still 3. So my 3 most offensive mons. And here, I just decided to go for a Calm Mind to try to start gauging what kind of set he is, what the possibility could be. He decided to go for the Air Slash here, and based on that damage, I could see that he was max attack modest. So based on that, I could kind of see that he was like maybe a bulky attacker. I really think the only way I can win here is if like I let Keldeo go down to get a free switch in into like Braviary, and then I just fire off like a Brave Bird, and then from there, like if he manages to win the speed tie with Gardevoir, if he ends up being Scarfed, then I just go into Delphox and I outspeed. So there wasn't too much he could do. I'm just setting up Calm Minds just to maybe try to get a big output with an HP Fire here. To just kind of let myself go down here. I almost killed, but it doesn't end up killing. He ends up going for the Seed Flare, which basically revealed that he wasn't Scarfed, or not Scarfed, but he wasn't Choice in any way. I guess Scarfed, yeah, Choice in any way. I decided to go into 128, the Braviary. I decided to just fire off a Brave Bird. If this thing dies, and if he switched in Gardevoir, there was a good chance that it was going to die. Like, if he had no HP investment at all, it was like a 68.8% chance to OHKO. I just decided to go for the Brave Bird. Down it goes. And he sends out Gardevoir here. And basically, even if he's Scarfed and with the speed tie, like, he's fucked. He locks himself in a Psychic. Delphox eats. Moonblast, Delphox eats. Shadow Ball, I'm part normal type, so he can't even do that. Like, there's not much he could do. Like, Thunderbolt would have been, like, his best bet if he had it. I ended up winning the speed tie. He was Scarfed, revealed that after the game. And he went for a Moonblast. So Delphox would have eaten up hits, and I could have gone for, like, a Fire Blast or just a couple Shadow Balls. Like, it really didn't end up mattering in the end. We're 128. The Braviary is going to end up picking kill. We're going to win against Bobby 2-0. Next week, we face Hendo, the co-commissioner himself. That might end up being Showdown, depending on whether he gets the DS on time or not. You guys will see very soon. I'm thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to hit that like and the subscribe button. Make sure to go check out Bobby. Like I said, he'll build an EP in the description below. Any social media he wants me to plug. Anyways, guys, I'm thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, this has been Cheating Mexican. I'm out. Peace.